On today's episode of the Box2Box Podcast, we're joined by a special guest. All the three of us go through the weekend's games just gone. We talk about the awful refereeing decisions. We also get to know our guest a little bit better by who he supports and a couple other things to do with football that we asked him. And we also look forward to the games ahead. On to the podcast we go. Hello, and welcome to the 21st episode of the Box2Box Podcast. If you haven't had a chance to watch last week's, please go back and watch it. We did have fun last week, so please go back and watch it. Today we're joined by a special guest, but once again I'm joined by Reza. How's it going, mate?
All good, thanks, pal. You?
Yes, I'm very well, thank you. A late one today, finishing work, but I am still all good. And we also joined by our special guest, Jamie. How's it going, pal? You alright?
Yeah, not bad, mate. Not bad at all. Thank you very much for having us on. Appreciate it.
Good. We always appreciate it. Jamie, we'll find out who Jamie supports later on in the show. We won't give it away too early. So what we'll do, we'll start off with the games on Saturday. So we'll start off with the Arsenal-Man United game. I'm sure Rez is dying to get his construction of the Man United team and what went wrong. So I'll start with you, Reza. How do you see the game?
I don't think it's fair to do that to me. Like, listen, obviously, we'll touch on what the travesty that was Tuesday night in a minute. This was different. I thought that United gave an okay account of themselves as a whole. Defensively, a shambles. Obviously, the first goal was a joke. Dalot, Varane, Telles, all culpable. The penalty, when I first saw it, and the moment they started looking at it, you're like, it's going to be given as a pen. It was going to be given. Was it a pen? It's difficult. It's difficult. But on balance, you probably say, yeah, okay, just go with VAR. They've said it's a pen. Go. The ref said it's a pen. You just go pen. But then on the flip side, United would argue that obviously we should have had. Yeah, well, the Elanga one in the first half, and then the one Sancho, obviously not the foul on Sancho, but the handball by it was Cedric, wasn't it?
Yeah, they're right back.
And yeah, and again, when I first saw that incident, I was like, nah, it's not a pen because he fell, and you're like, well, where's he supposed to put his hat? But then you watch it back and you watch the replay, and he motherfucker scoops the ball, and you're like. Well, no, that's a bloody pen.
Front crawling in the box.
So again, like a little bit hard done by him from that perspective. But then on the flip side, Fernandes should have seen red.
Oh, definitely.
Horrendous challenge. I don't understand what he was doing. Well, I do get it. Like this, he had a real shocker of a game, and it's not just this game. It's been a few now, and you could see he is petulant. Anyway, obviously, I've spoken about it before. The flailing of the arms and the constant whinging and the whining. He is petulant, and obviously the petulant overspilled it in that game, and he deserved to be sent off. So Arsenal will look at that and go, well, he should have been sent off, absolutely. Obviously, United, it was just one of those. I can't really say much else. It wasn't... If we talk about the Liverpool game briefly, we got decimated in that game. Like, we didn't even offer anything. I don't even know what we tried to do in that game. We didn't actually try and achieve anything in that game. At least, again, we'll get on to the Everton-Liverpool game shortly. But at least with that, at least Everton tried to do something. You could see what they were trying to achieve. United, I couldn't even see what we were trying to achieve in that game. Now, I don't know whether that was because United were that poor, Liverpool that good, or a bit of both. I think it's probably a bit of both. I think that, that Mane pass... for Liverpool's second goal was absolutely unbelievable. You can't defend that. But yeah, I didn't go into the Arsenal game feeling massively confident. Come out of the game thinking, well, it could have been different, but it's just the way things go at the moment, and I don't know what else to say. Xhaka's goal was very good for what it's worth. I thought Saka played really well. But United were poor. I think Scott McTominay completed 7 passes in the first half. 7 passes from a central midfielder completing 7 passes. Absolute jokes.
Oh god, yeah. There's not much you can make. So, to be fair, I thought both teams were shit though. Really, I didn't think Arsenal were that good.
Defensively, so fragile. The
Considering
difference
as
was
we're
Arsenal
shit.
finished.
Yeah, it
Um,
could have been a different game if Bruno scores that pen. It's ifs. If you aren't our bollocks, you
yeah,
did an uncle.
it's always that way, isn't it?
Yeah, that's getting outsiders with you now, Jamie. What do you think of it?
So I must admit, like this weekend, I've basically literally just watched the Liverpool Everton game. I've seen the highlights of the Arsenal United game, and it's just my biggest take from that is what the hell was Fernandes doing with that penalty? That was absolutely terrible. But then, oh Christ, who was it? There was another one that was an absolute shocker of a penalty as well, wasn't there? Jorginho's, that's it. Yeah, my God, weekend of absolutely terrible penalties. But yeah, I saw McTominay's interview like after the match and what have you, and he's just, we need to look at ourselves in the mirror, and it was just, yeah, like I saw that before I actually saw the highlights. I've only sort of clipped up the highlights today while I was sort of skiving at work. And yeah, not going to beat around the bush. Had a bit of time. So yeah, I thought, like, Christ, it must be bad if they're coming out, and like you could tell, like his body language in that interview, like you could tell he was raging inside.
Well,
just
he went further than that.
Yeah,
didn't he? It wasn't just that. Look at ourselves. He also spoke about the
club.
Yeah,
the issues like with the club and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, so yeah, it's. I think I'm sure I said it to you years ago, didn't I? After Fergie left, that club is like a poison chalice. Who the hell is gonna really want to take over with that? And nah, they're like Mourinho, Van Gaal, Moisey, even Giggs and what have you. They're braver men than me for sure. I would not want to take that. Then again, I suppose the millions and millions that they'd be getting, sod it. You might as well.
Yeah,
yeah. I'll take a £10 million severance fee or whatever. No bother. Thank you.
But there's a lot of comparisons to be drawn with Liverpool.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
In terms of huge success, and then what happens when suddenly, what created your success, the cornerstone of your success, disappears. What happens then? And it's very difficult. I mean, one thing, I've not been a fan of Ranić in this, other than he's a very intellectual man. He speaks very eloquently, and I like that. I like the way that he portrays himself. I like the way that he portrays his opinions during press conferences. And obviously, he said that basically the Man United job now is open heart surgery. And he's absolutely right. I think it's one of those situations where, as much as you don't want to see it, it basically needs to be torn down and start again. It's one of those situations you can't patch it up. A plaster won't do.
Yeah.
This is a teardown. And say Liverpool went through it. Liverpool, I mean,
I
don't remember Liverpool being ever as bad as this.
That's what I was going to say. I don't remember Liverpool ever
then again,
tools.
I don't know about down in tools, but we were pretty terrible, like 2009, 2010, that sort of season. The Hodgson 6-month experiment that we don't talk about anymore. Yeah. You know what I mean? We like when you had Roy Hodgson coming out and say, "Oh yeah, we'll be lucky to get another 3 points next week and what have you against like relegation fodder." You know, it's like we've had the dark times and what have you. So I think we've probably been marginally, and I mean marginally, worse than where you are at now. But yeah, it's not nice times to be a Man United fan in all seriousness, is it?
I suppose one of the only differences between what you said about Hodgson, I think your team under Hodgson, you still had Gerrard, you still had Carragher, that wouldn't let.
And Torres as well. To be fair,
you wouldn't let standards slip to where they have at United at the moment. We've got no centre back that's like Carragher. Carragher wasn't actually the best centre back in the world, but he still wanted high standards. And then Gerrard was a superstar. He wanted standards as high as possible. So we haven't got anyone like that in midfield or in defence that can do something like that. That's one thing that worries me. You need someone in midfield and defence as quick as possible that's going to do their two jobs to start the comeback. And
I think as well, just touching on that, like we also had Pepe Reina, who again, very vocal player at the time. And 2009, 2010, it was before he started to sort of dwindle off and what have you. So yeah, I suppose you could argue like the spine that we had when we were terrible. We actually had an all right spine that actually, like you say, the standards wouldn't be allowed to be decimated. I don't really see the hate.
When you say we, who do you mean?
Like Liverpool. Have I just given away?
There yet, dickhead.
He said we about 50 times. There's no point anymore, is there? Just fucking let it go.
Ruined it. Surprise!
Should have just introduced it at the start.
Yeah, should have.
I should have warned you about
Yeah.
I mean, I think we're lucky we lasted that long, to be fair, before the first wee. But anyways,
Yeah.
I think the thing is, honestly, to cover the trouble at United, we could literally spend hours, days, weeks, analysing
years,
what's gone on.
decades, centuries.
It's the fact of the matter is, I think the club are trying the right thing now with Ten Hag. I think that they're going to give him time. The fans are going to give him time as well. I think all of the United fans now realise that there's no quick fix. There isn't a quick fix. We thought Jose could possibly be it, but got Jose too late. And that's it. And it is what it is. It's just, there's going to be plenty more results like the weekend and plenty more weeks like the last week to come. Especially when Ten Hag starts bringing the youth through. There's going to be a lot of up and down. And we're just going to have to put up with it.
Yeah. All right, well, let's move on from the United game because we keep talking about otherwise. We'll move on to the Leicester Villa game, which is first of the 3 o'clocks. Who wants to go first? Do you want to go first, Jamie, as a guest?
Yeah, can do. So I'm not going to lie to you. I saw the 0-0 highlights. I started it, and then I'm like, yeah, no, I'm bored already. So I didn't.
It was a nothing game.
Why.
Yeah,
I can understand why.
Yeah.
I 100% understand why. I did exactly the same thing.
Not going to bother. No thanks. No offence.
Yeah.
But yeah, no point being around the bush. Didn't even bother. I think I lasted about 6.5 seconds.
Both teams, there wasn't even any chances. There was half chances, a couple of half chances, but that was about it, really. Where's anything to add, mate, on that one? If you want to.
No, it was boring as shit. I think it reflects on where both teams are right now.
Yeah.
They just cancelled each other out. I think there were small moments. I think Ollie Watkins did okay for what it's worth. And I think that on balance, you'd probably say that Villa maybe looked slightly more threatening than Leicester. But even that's, I'm clutching.
You're clutching. You're big time clutching with that. I think we can move on from the Villa game. I don't think there's much else you can really say about that. So we'll move on to the City Watford game. City taking it 5-1. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Well, we'll let Jamie go first because obviously rivals and all that because we now know who he supports. So.
Yeah, so again, like I did actually enjoy watching the highlights of that. To be fair, and Kevin De Bruyne, man, Jesus freaking wept. Like, what a player! Like, absolutely, what a player. And yeah, he just shown why. Like, he's just unreal, absolutely unreal with like the way he sort of controlled it and what have you. Rodri's goal for me, absolute beauty, absolute beauty. The chest and the volley down. Oh. Like, I could watch that on repeat, to be fair. It was absolutely sublime. But I think when this goal was with 2 minutes or something like that, just set the tone for the match.
That's what I was going to say. City seem to be scoring early every single week. And that's what's killing, I think that's what's killing Liverpool's hopes. Because if it goes to like the 60th minute and the City haven't scored, it starts to get a bit eerie. The stadium's a bit like, what's going to happen? They're scoring in like the 3rd minute or the 5th minute of every game at the moment.
Yeah.
Just no need for it.
Nah, definitely not. Definitely not. But then you look at their fixtures in the running, like, who do you see them not scoring that quick against?
I think Leeds will give them a hard game next week. I think it's next week, isn't it? I believe. You've got Leeds next weekend.
Is it?
Leeds away.
Leeds away. Yeah, that could be interesting, to be fair. That could be quite interesting.
Leeds looks a little bit different under their new manager. Since Bielsa looks a bit better defensively, so hopefully.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no, to be fair, I don't want you to win the league. I want City to win the league. But Reza?
Yeah, City were good, really good. I think obviously you touched on it already with De Bruyne, Jesus as well.
I can watch that pass for the first goal all day long, I think.
He suddenly starts finishing out of nowhere. Watford will be disappointed, I think, because the Rodri goal was born out of their error, their mistake. And I think obviously it's 2-1 at that point now. I'm not saying Watford are coming back into the game, but we've spoken about it on the pod the past few weeks that Watford do create chances, and they do give teams with Dennis and Sarr. They're not easy, and you thought, okay, well, it's 2-1 now. What something could possibly happen? I mean, City just destroyed it, and what a goal!
Rodri puts it in the top
destroy
bin.
it with. There's not a lot to say about City. City just. They're so cold, so that it's like they're almost a polar opposite of Liverpool. Liverpool get over the line, like the sheer determination, the drive, the rock and roll footballers, people call it. City are the complete opposite. City are just cool, calm. It's like, whatever, it's fine. We'll score. It doesn't matter. It's fine. The only thing I would say is that in this situation, I know which team I'd rather be playing for in that situation when it comes down to it. I'd rather United of old, a perfect example. Liverpool very similar in that sense that it's just relentless. I say, obviously, we'll touch on the Everton Liverpool game when we get to it, and you always knew that they were going to score somehow because it's just the sheer will to win, whereas City are different. And like I say, will that play a part? I think it will. I think that if City don't score early, like you say, I think the nerves will set in. And they've had a few games this season where it's happened like that. And they've had a couple of draws, I think, whereby, again, it was just really nervy. And they don't have the second gear, the next gear that Liverpool seem to have, because they don't press the way that Liverpool do, and they're not relentless in the way that Liverpool are. That's where I worry that the title may be won and lost. That being said, Liverpool have got Spurs in a couple of weeks. And now, obviously, again, we talked about Spurs last week, and lo and behold, they did exactly what we thought they'd do. This weekend, that's a hard game. And I do feel there's going to be another twist to this tale, but which way it goes, I don't know.
I think it could benefit Liverpool playing first this Saturday coming up. They play the early kickoff, and City are in the late kickoff. Because if Liverpool get the win at Newcastle and it's all on City to win at Leeds, that's a very hard place to go and win.
To be fair, the way Newcastle are playing at the minute as well, that's not a guaranteed 3 points for either.
No,
they've
not.
We'll be moving on to that one in a minute. But yeah, you're right. They've got the right Bruno. Well, I think we've covered the City game off. We'll move to the last 3 o'clock kickoffs, which is, funny enough, the Norwich-Newcastle game. Newcastle winning 3-0. Do you want me to go first?
Go for it.
Newcastle actually looked unbelievable in this game. I think obviously I only saw the highlights, but Newcastle looked really, really good. And that Bruno seems to be, I don't know what the fuck's happened and where they've pulled him out of the sky, but they've pulled someone out of the sky that can pass, score, his goal. Oh my Jesus Christ!
Yeah, it was a beauty.
Jesus, that goal was unbelievable. But yeah, I thought Newcastle played very well. Norwich, they're going down.
It's just Norwich.
It's just they're going down there. They're preparing for the Championship. They can't finish. Pukki is not a Premier League striker. He's a Championship level striker. So it wouldn't surprise me if they came straight back up again the year after.
Yeah, I think Norwich are remember West Brom were 10 years ago, one season up, one season down, one season up, one season for a bit. I can see Norwich doing that because they were down last year, they were up the year before, and yada yada yada. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Norwich back in the Prem in 2 years' time. So
they seem to just keep yo-yoing all the time, and they bring in so many players to try and help them stay up, but it just never works out. So yeah, I just thought Newcastle brilliant and Norwich absolutely terrible. Norwich did have a couple of chances, but
that Pukki one as well, where just
like I say,
just can't finish.
Dubravka came out and he forced Pukki to make the first move, and actually was really good goalkeeping because obviously he forced him wide, and then at that point the chance was gone. I thought he was going to hit it first time. Like the moment he was played through, and Dubravka's coming out. To me, my instinct would be I'm going to hit this first time.
That's the difference between
I'm not a Premier League
Championship and
striker.
Premier League striker, though. You said it right there. That is the difference between a Championship level striker and a Premier League striker. If that goes through to any Premier League striker, Danny Ings, he puts that in the back of the net, but on the one. Whereas a Championship level striker tries to take around the goalkeeper and fucks it.
Yeah, and another good game from Joe Linton. He did play up top this time, but
he did.
Yeah, another good game from Joe Linton, and the goal, his goal as well, the first goal, really good.
Yeah,
obviously there's a bit of fortune that had come to him, but it was a good finish because it was
still took it well,
behind him. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you got to have a bit of luck sometimes, and I think I'm still a believer if you make your own luck. You make your own luck, sorry. And I feel like they deserve to make a little bit of luck for themselves, and they played very well. Right, that does that game, I think. So we'll move on to the last one on the Saturday. Brentford versus Bottle Job FC. 0-0. Who wants to go first? Rez?
Tottenham I didn't even realise Tottenham were actually playing, to be honest. It's like they did nothing. They were awful. Fair play to the Brentford back line.
Very
they kept
good again.
Tottenham. Yeah, listen, I think the blueprint's been set, right? Brighton did it, what was it, last week, 2 weeks ago? You take Harry Kane out that game, out of this team, and they're dead. They're dead. And they did it. And, I mean, Spurs didn't have a shot on target.
Second game in a row they haven't had a shot on target.
Yeah. I thought Brentford created some good moments, good opportunities. Christian Eriksen is unbelievable. There's going to be some clamouring for him this summer because he's out of contract.
Yeah, they only
he's
gave
available
him
on a free
6-month deal on it.
They did, yeah. And yeah, they I think they'll consider themselves unlucky to have not won that game.
No, you're right there.
Yeah, that's my take.
Oh, no worries. Jamie, anything to add to that?
Nah, I think you've covered it off, to be fair. And like you said about Christian Eriksen, like whoever, it's a no-brainer getting him on a free. Like he improves pretty much any of the team outside the top four easily without even trying, doesn't he?
Yeah, no, he definitely does. Depending on, I think he could go to Brighton. You know, if Basuma goes, I think they'll try and get him. But then I don't know because I think someone higher up the league might want to get him.
Yeah.
Well, he said he wants to play Champions League football.
He ain't going to Brighton. No chance.
He's not going to United either.
No, fucking ain't going to United either, no. Maybe West Ham.
Maybe.
So let's move on very nicely to this first Sunday League game, which was Brighton versus Southampton. 2-2. Jamie, I'll let you
James
take it.
Ward-Prowse. Ward-Prowse, man. What? Oh, my days. Like, don't get me wrong, the first goal that Brighton scored, that was borderline comical, to be fair. But James Ward-Prowse, man, oh, Christ on a bike. Like, that, ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Like, they said in commentary, didn't they? Like, basically, him putting the ball on the spot just outside. Yeah, it's like having a penalty.
I saw that.
Yeah, I thought, fair play. So yeah, that is just literally that's all you really need to say about that match. James Ward-Prowse, nothing else.
His delivery is unbelievable.
It's corner, ridiculous.
Free kick, no matter what, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but it was his second one that was absolute worldie as well. Well, a bit like just from outside the box.
Yeah, on the one from outside the box.
Oh,
that's all.
So
yeah, it was a game of two halves really. Brighton dominated the first half, and Southampton dominated the second, really.
Yeah.
That was my take on the game. Reza, what was yours, Val?
I don't think it was quite as clear cut as you've said, because Southampton did have a chance. Obviously, they hit the post in the first half, and obviously it's come back, hit Sanchez on the back of the head, so he has no idea where the ball is. And the contrast, obviously, with the other end, where the goal was scrappy and the ball ended up going in. It didn't go in for Southampton. Both, obviously, and Brighton get the own goal. I mean, to be fair, the build-up play deserved the goal Brighton second.
Brighton's, Welbeck's pass and Trossard's
because
pass.
Welbeck and both of them, absolutely unbelievable. But yeah, James Ward-Prowse, the free kick wasn't great. It wasn't his best. But I don't think Brighton can look at that and go, we should have done better. I think it's a difficult one because it's bottom corner. And his second goal, unbelievable. And again, I think similar to Leicester and Villa, I think that they're two teams pretty evenly matched and they just cancelled each other out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think with his free kick, I think keepers are so worried that he can put it in the top corner that they go a little bit further over. That's how he scores that.
Yeah.
To try and get over, because his free kicks are so in the top corner, so hard to get to. The keeper probably stands that yard to the left that he shouldn't do normally, or he wouldn't do normally. And then that's how he's got a little bit of space in the bottom right. Right, sounds like we've covered that game. So we'll move on to the other game, Burnley versus Wolves. Great win for Burnley, winning 1-0.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant win for Burnley, that.
You can go first then, Jamie, mate, as you said that. Buzzing for it, isn't he?
Yeah. Oh, mate, yeah. Like, can you imagine, like, Everton going down? Phenomenal.
That's why he's buzzing. That's why he's buzzing, really, wasn't it? He's loving it.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. I'd love to see it. Not gonna lie, I'd miss the 6 points, but I'd love to see it. But like Vidra's goal was decent. Like, I was a
points. Sorry, carry on. That's me.
Yeah, I must admit, I was surprised when they sacked Dyche. In all seriousness, I didn't see it coming. But it is what it is, isn't it? I suppose. But yeah, fair play to him. Fair play to Burnley, scrapping for the lives, putting the vermin in the relegation zone. Happy days. Need I say any more?
Reza, go on, mate. You can go.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to just put it out there. I called this.
Here we go. He actually called
Here we go. Here we go.
No, I did call it.
He did.
It's recorded.
He did, to be fair.
Burnley, 7 from 9 since the Dyche sacking. Like you, Campbell, I couldn't believe it. I was shocked.
Nor could I.
Appalled, actually. Not even shocked, appalled.
Yeah.
That they did that. But, I mean, listen, with the running as well, it looks on paper like they are going to be safe and Everton will be the team that goes down. But no, it's a good performance. Nick Pope, very good again. Yeah. And it was a really good, really well taken goal, especially under the kind of pressure that they are under. It was a really well taken goal against us. A difficult team, a very up and down team. We've discussed it on the podcast numerous times. But it was a really well taken goal.
They blow hot and cold, don't they?
Yeah, they do, yeah.
Massively blow hot and cold.
But still, it's, massive result for Burnley. And I mean, they've got Watford next.
Yeah.
Where Everton have got Chelsea.
Yeah.
And I think the gap's going to widen. And I think that could be all she said.
We'll get on.
Everton have got a game in hand, though, haven't they?
They have.
So that could be the possibly their only one.
I'm trying to find it now. It's Watford.
Yeah.
It looks like it's Watford.
I still worry about them because of Frank Lampard ain't the one, really. Ain't the one at all. I was absolutely shocked when I saw that Frank Lampard was in charge of them next.
Yeah.
You want a manager to get you out of the relegation zone and you hire Frank
Lampard. It's a Sam Allardyce job. Realistically, innit? It's a Sam Allardyce job.
I mean, you're not wrong, to be fair. You're not wrong. Get him in for 6 months and then get Lampard in the summer once you're safe.
Yeah.
If that's what you really want to do.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's their own downfall, really. I mean, they've got some hard games coming up.
Yeah.
They've got Everton,
Chelsea,
Leicester, Watford, Brentford, Palace, and Everton. And Arsenal.
Yeah.
That's some tough games. Some really hard.
Truthfully, how many points do you really see them picking up? Leicester away?
Because of how they're doing. They're getting 4 points out of that, I think, personally, out of all those. Maybe 5 at a push.
Possibly, yeah. Brentford at home, you'd expect them to pick 3 points up there. Yeah, I think Leicester away get a scrappy 0-0.
I think I thought Leicester away they're going to lose. Watford away they'll win.
Yeah.
I thought Brentford, I think it'll be a draw. Palace will be a draw, and they'll lose to Arsenal.
Yeah. They ain't getting anything out of Chelsea at home as well.
What do you think of those, Rez, mate?
I've just been having a look. To be honest, Burnley have got a few hard games as well.
Have they? I haven't looked at
Burnley.
Yeah, Tottenham away, Villa away.
Villa,
they've got Villa twice, haven't they?
Yeah, they got Villa away twice, and then last game of the season,
they got Villa at home.
They got Newcastle.
Yeah, so Watford away, Villa at home, Tottenham away.
I don't know. I think they could do away. Villa are on their holidays because they're safe. I think they could do Villa. Maybe not twice. And then Newcastle, by the end of the season, I think Newcastle will be done. They won't care.
They'll be on the beach, yeah.
They could get 6 points there. And then if 9 points against Watford, they could end up with 9 more points. And that puts...
and that's 40. That's the magic 40 points.
And that puts Everton down.
Yeah. No, it's going to be an interesting end. I mean, we'll get on to Everton, obviously, in a second. We've obviously got the Chelsea game first, and then it's Everton. So,
yeah. Let's go on to the Chelsea game then. So we can get on to the last one. So we'll go to the Chelsea game. Who wants to go first, Chelsea game? No one? Okay, I'll take it then. No worries. I feel like West Ham will feel like they should have got something out of this game. I didn't get to see the full game, of course. I only got to see the highlights, but from what I saw, I feel like West Ham could have nicked something out of it. Chelsea weren't that good at all, and they sort of turned up towards the last 20 minutes. Penalty absolutely atrociously awful. I thought Fernandes' penalty was awful, and then I watched that. I was like, "Fuck."
Yeah.
I'd be livid if that was my player, even more than Fernandes. He literally just 3 steps and then passed it to the goalkeeper.
Yeah. Like literally, what you would do if you had like a 5-year-old kid, you were playing penalties with him, wouldn't you? You had the bed in the net and whatever. It's literally what you would do with your child.
Yeah, in your back garden. You're not wrong. You're playing with like your 4 or 5-year-old, and he goes in goal, and you just tap it to the side of him because you know it's going to win. And they're atrocious. Yeah. What's the problem? Rudiger's definitely leaving now as well, so that's bad for him. Could be worrying times. I don't know what's going on with their ownership. It's not sorted yet. So they can't. Can they sign anyone at the moment? I don't think they can.
I don't think they can they? I thought they couldn't sell any tickets either, can they?
I don't know whether that's been resolved. I thought the government got involved.
Did they?
Yeah, I thought.
I was going to say that it must have because for the FA Cup final as well, because they've got an allocation of and the final as well. They've got an allocation of 30.5. So yeah, because I was being really optimistic that Chelsea couldn't sell a single ticket for the FA Cup final. So when Anfield South would actually be there and there again, but it didn't happen. But beggars can't be choosers.
No, I think they've been able to. It's unfair on the fans at the end of the day.
Yeah, it is. It is, to be fair.
I understand what's going on with the owner, and they want to get him out. Fair enough, but you can't take it out on the fans.
Nah, it's not. It's not right.
It's not right.
It isn't right.
But yeah, no. So that was my take on the game. What do you guys think?
Yeah, like I said it before with the penalty. Absolutely atrocious. Like, why? Why would you do it? You're not playing it with your kid in the back garden. Like, just top bins every time. But it's bittersweet. This is going to sound. I'm happy to see Pulisic score. I actually quite like him as a player. I was a bit gutted we didn't sign him, and I was quite gutted he went to Chelsea. So I have a bit of a soft spot for Pulisic. But yeah,
I thought that goal was actually quite good.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, yeah, I think he's a solid player. I know he's been a bit unlucky with injuries and stuff, but like, I would gladly take him.
Mane, Salah, and Diaz, and Jota.
Well, I must admit, pre Diaz, but
Christ, that's a strong statement. You go Pulisic over them for.
I never said over. I said I'd take
Jesus.
Don't put words in my mouth, you dirty Man United fan. But like, yeah, it just the extra depth. Like, you assume one of them's going. Like, we assume one of them is going. Like, it wouldn't be a bad backup, to be fair. I know Diaz has been absolute revelation. I know I'm like sort of jumping out of turn here, but yeah, I do rate Pulisic, really do.
Fair enough. Reza, onto your take, pal.
Yeah, I don't think there's much to say. It wasn't a great game of football. I'm not going to talk too much about the penalty, or I'd say Fernandes, at least if his was on target, he scores. And yeah, well taken goal by Pulisic. West Ham. It was last season, wasn't it? You had the double jeopardy rule where you couldn't get sent off and a penalty given. Obviously, they must have rescinded that this year. So there is no double jeopardy, so you can now have both. Because I'm pretty sure it was last year. Dawson wouldn't have been sent off.
Yeah.
He was unfortunate actually because he had a solid game up until that point. It's just, listen, Chelsea are winding down. Obviously, they're safe in the top four. Realistically, the teams below them, none of them really want the top four space. So Chelsea could just sit there and just be like, well, let them lot fight and beat each other and lose to random teams, and we're fine. They're just looking obviously towards the FA Cup, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely. They've got nothing else really to play for, have they? Like
No.
you say, they're safe in top four. They can just plead along, try some things out, maybe try some formations, get themselves ready for Liverpool in the FA Cup final.
Play Lukaku as well. I mean, that's when you know it's shit.
Oh,
You've got nothing to play for.
Jeez, he's fucking
Oh
shit.
my God. That is just that if you need to sum Chelsea up like Romelu Lukaku, is that buy him, he's a flop, sell him, send him on his way, buy him back again, he's a flop again. Like Jesus wept.
Well, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
Halfway through the season, he says, "I wish I never left Inter."
Did you hear what the Inter manager came? Was it the Inter manager or the Inter owner that came out and said, "We got 100 million for Lukaku. We got Edin Dzeko on a free. I don't really see too much difference on the pitch."
Yeah,
I thought that was mint.
Yeah, he's not wrong though. To be fair,
Nah,
he's not wrong at all.
nah.
Right, I think that covers that game. We'll move on to Liverpool Everton. Liverpool winning 2-0. Go on, Jamie, take it away as you're a Liverpool fan. You can go first, mate.
That the first half, like it was a game of two halves really. The first half was Frank had borrowed Jose's textbook, just try to park the bus and just sit there, and just try and frustrate us. And it wasn't great to watch, to be fair. And like I messaged you, didn't I, Rez, saying it's just terrible. It's really not great to watch. But then like Jurgen with his substitutions, he's been absolutely spot on recently. I don't think it's sort of going under the radar a little bit. He's changing the game and for the better. Bringing Div on and Diaz on, and it just changed the game. Buzzing to see Rob
bringing someone like Diaz on, and it changes the game.
But like before, there was a time before where we'd like not bother. Like we'd bother, like we'd put a sub on like 70, 75, 80 minutes, and it's just like, what's the point? Like it needs to be on earlier and to sort of make more of an impact, and he's been doing that more recently. So it's been nice. It's been great actually. But yeah, Div needs a statue. We assume he's going at the end of the season. He needs a statue outside Anfield. The boy's an absolute legend. He'll go down as a club legend, to be fair. Like goals against Barca, goals against Everton. What more do you need?
Oh, good. Fair enough. Are we going to talk about the Mane red card?
Yeah, we have to talk about those things.
It was a bit silly.
The
It
penalty
was-
as well. No, he's left those two out, isn't he? Conveniently left them both them out.
I don't know like how true this is, all right, but I saw something earlier. Apparently there's been 12 yellow cards for simulation in the league this year. 6 of them have gone to Everton. And watching Richarlison and Gordon, like Gordon was having an absolute whale of a time, wasn't he? He was absolutely running. And fair play to him. Actually gave Trent a hard game, and fair cop. But he just kept falling down. Like Tom Daly would be so impressed. Like he really would. He would be absolutely like, fair play, son. Yeah, get yourself in the pool. You can come join us. You know what I mean? Like it was just tragic. And when Richarlison went down with his knee and then started holding his face, and then Decore sort of lashed out on Fabi and what have you. It's just like, why are you playing like that? Like, just why? It's just shit. But the Mane red card, you shouldn't be slapping people in the face. You know what I mean? It wasn't hard, but it's not the point. You can't put your hand in people's faces in the game.
It wasn't just that, though, was it? He did it twice in the space of a couple of minutes, and I think that basically what it is, again, having read about why he wasn't sent off, and it's dumb shit, right? Basically, VAR cannot award or recommend the referee awards a yellow card.
Yeah.
VAR accepted that both were yellow cards, but because the ref didn't see the poke or the gouge, that's it. VAR can't intervene because VAR were like, that's a yellow, not a red.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is he should have been sent off for 2 yellow cards within the space. He was an idiot. I don't understand why
getting involved. Yeah.
He did it. Yeah, it was stupid. It was dumb. Absolutely stupid. Listen, what Doucouré did was shit.
Yeah.
Fine. And there was obviously a bit of to and fro. Obviously, Liverpool were incredibly frustrated. Everton did exactly what they set out to do, frustrate them.
Yep.
And try and catch them on the break. I thought, obviously, he got booked for diving. It was the Trent Alexander-Arnold one, wasn't it? He got booked for. Was it that one?
I think so.
And then second half, again, people are saying that played against him, which is why he wasn't given.
Yeah, to me that was a penalty. I think that's it. And he went down. Was it 3 times before that in the first half? And then obviously he got booked, and then he went down again, which actually was the one that he should have got something for. To be fair.
Yeah, and again, I get it, right? Human nature. You're like, oh mate, just get up.
Yeah.
But that's what VAR's for,
mm-hmm.
and I don't understand because I think Everton will feel somewhat hard done by. Look, when I watched the game, my perspective on it was there is no way Everton can maintain this for 90 minutes. At some point, because Liverpool didn't have a shot on target, until the Robertson goal. That was your first shot on target. So Everton, they had a game plan. They stuck to it. Like I said, unlike United, at least they had a bloody game plan. The diving, it's good that players are getting booked for simulation. It needs to happen more often. Quite frankly, it doesn't happen enough. But at the same time, that shouldn't affect the next decision. Every decision should be independent of the previous decisions. And you always hear this, right? You hear when the ref gives a dodgy penalty, and then at half time they're like, "Shit, that wasn't a pen." And it's almost like they're then looking for an opportunity to even the score. It shouldn't happen. Like you draw a line under it, you move on. You shouldn't even the score. And again, like I say, reputation, right? A lot of times when who was it? When was it? Someone should have got sent off. I can't remember what it was. It was bad as well. And it was like, oh yeah. And even he came out and said, the refs know I'm not like that. It's like, that's irrelevant, mate. It was dangerous.
Yeah.
Just because you're not like it doesn't make the challenge less dangerous. I can't remember who it was. If we listen back to the pod, it's on the pod.
I can't remember either.
It wasn't that long. It was one of the weeks where I had a rant about refs and the state of refereeing in the Premier League.
Every week.
Every week. Yeah.
Say that ends in Y.
But no, I mean, Origi, saves the day, goal and an assist, did his job. What do you make of the Salah situation?
What with the contract side of things?
Yeah.
It's one of them. On one hand, I want to say just give him what he wants, because realistically, if who's going to come in to replace him? Who are we going to sign to replace him?
Pulisic.
Nah,
Do you need to? Could you not play Mane and Diaz?
I thought
Mane, Diaz and Jota. Yeah,
I thought Diaz over.
I think it's more the depth as well, and especially if we're going to lose. Yeah. If we're going to lose Div, you can't rely on Taki. So you know what I mean. So if you lose Salah, you lose Div. That's a third of us up top players gone in one fell swoop. So you would need to replace him. And who do you get that is as good as Salah in the Premier League? That isn't going to cost.
You don't.
Exactly.
Right? I mean,
that's it. So
United
realistically,
sold Ronaldo. We got Antonio Valencia.
There
So
you go.
you don't replace them.
Yeah.
You don't.
So, like,
No, yeah.
realistically, if we sell Salah, how much are we going to get? Like, you're probably looking at what? Because year left of his contract, 80, 100 tops.
I think you're clutching at straws there. I think more 50.
I know. I really am. So it's probably realistic. It's more in the 50, 60 mark in it that we're going to get for him. To replace him, you're going to be spending 100, 150.
But then would you need to replace him? Wouldn't you start Diaz and Mane, and then you just need someone as a backup? You wouldn't need to replace Salah, essentially. I think, for me, Salah, the thing that's gone against Salah getting his contract is how good Diaz has been.
Yeah, Diaz has been an absolute revelation, to be fair. It's like...
he came in and was a flop, then Salah can demand whatever he wants, and they have to pay it, really.
But because he's come in and hit the ground running, you've got a really good point there, to be fair. But I think if we let Salah go, I think the fans would be on FSG's back. It's like, well, if you've sold him, who are we getting in? Like, where's Haaland? Where's Bellingham? Where, you know what I mean? Where's the superstar to replace him? So I think...
City, isn't he?
No, that's going to be disgusting. That's going to be absolutely disgusting. And it's just, dream world. Like, you play Football Manager, you sign Haaland, you sign Bellingham from Dortmund, you give him like £500 million, and you sell for the rest of your life, ain't you? But, but yeah, like in real world, it's going to be Haaland and Pep is just going to be a dangerous combination. And from a money point of view, who's going to stop him? Newcastle.
Yeah, fair. Last thing, just before we move on, if Everton do go down, I saw this question answered on Sky Sports the other day. Are they the biggest club to ever get relegated?
Probably yes.
In terms of the Premier League year, I know obviously going back further, United have been relegated. Everyone's been relegated.
Yeah.
I believe they're the only club left that haven't been relegated
Arsenal,
from the top division.
Is it Arsenal?
No, it's Everton.
Oh, is it Everton? I thought Arsenal were the only club that's not been relegated from the top, so fair play. But yeah, like it's one of those. On one hand, I would love to see them go down, and I think they would struggle. I think they'd be very similar to like Blackburn, and just languish, or like Coventry, and they would just languish, and you wouldn't see them for decades. In all seriousness, if they did go down, but then on the other hand, I'd miss the derby. So
it's a very hard thing because they've got a lot of players that aren't going to be used to fighting. They're used to just luxury, and it doesn't matter this time of year. They're not used to the fight, whereas players like Burnley players fight every week.
Yeah. So, and that's what I mean. It'd be probably be a absolute fire sale to get rid of all of that. Rondon would probably stay. He's used to sort of the championship level. That's about realistically, isn't it?
Fucking loves it, doesn't he? Rafa Benitez, right hand man.
Oh man! Please tell me you've seen some of the Darren Farley stuff for the agent Rafa. Oh, the tears I've shed over watching that, just pissing myself. It's just unreal. It's like, sir, the best job ever. Fucking love it. Fucking love it.
Reza, what do you think about it, mate?
Yeah, I think they probably are. Forest, maybe. Be the closest to a big club or a big, historically bigger club. I think Campbell's right in the sense that you do kind of worry because of, you don't know, obviously, I doubt very much that any of their players have a relegation clause in their contracts. Unlike the likes of Norwich and your
I wouldn't have thought so, no. I
Burnley.
wouldn't have thought so at all.
So they're going to have to rely on selling those players to be able to continue to afford them. And obviously with financial fair play and everything. And it could be the ruin of the club for a significant period of time because of that kind of stuff. Because like I say, there won't be, you get a 50% pay cut if we get relegated, because they just wouldn't have thought they'd get relegated. And obviously with the owner as well, Usmanov, obviously all his assets have been frozen and everything. It could be quite a scary period of time for Everton fans if they were to go down. And I think they probably would. You think they would be the biggest club that we've seen go down.
There's only, like you say, Forest and probably Leeds are probably the only sort of other two that can give it a run for the money.
Newcastle as well, to be fair.
I think the thing though with Newcastle, like as a club,
West Ham,
like,
West Ham, good shout.
But then we're Forest, the 2 European Cups. Newcastle haven't got that. You know what I mean?
That's why I mentioned Forest, like as in historically, they are probably the biggest team to drop out of the Premier League, and obviously they've never come back. And I don't even know what division they're in now. To be fair, Forest
Championship.
Championship.
Oh, Championship. Okay.
Yeah, Championship. Yeah, no. So Everton, big club, could be going down.
Yeah.
All right. So that concludes this week, then, guys. Very good. So, goal of the week first. Rez, goal of the week.
I've got 5 here.
Wow.
I'm going to go Rodri.
Oh, you bellend.
Well, no, it doesn't mean you can't.
Doesn't mean you can't pick it. You can still pick it. It doesn't freeze it out for you. It's not a game show. Oh, fuck it. I was going to go that.
Ruined.
I had the same. Who has got something other than Rodri?
So I was torn between Rodri and Xhaka. That's what I was thinking, Rodri and Xhaka. But like, I think the chest and then the volley for me, it's got to be Rodri.
Yeah, I had Bruno's for Newcastle as an honourable mention.
Yeah, I had Joe Linton and also Ward Prowse's second as well.
Yeah,
that's fair play.
I had all those as Bruno was a very close second to me. I thought that chip was unbelievable. Right, let's move on to team of the week. I'll go first. Goalkeeper. I've gone Newcastle's Dubravka. Thought he was class this weekend. Rez, who you got to go?
Hope.
I was between those
FIFA Ledge.
The breaks all FIFA logic. Jamie, who have you got, mate?
On one hand, just for the sheer shithousery, I want to say Allison, just for taking the mick out of
Don't
taking the mick out there. I want to say that, but
Trent is right back, and he's got fucking amazing rate this week as well.
On one hand, I want to say for the shithousery, Allison, just for purely because for taking the piss out of Pickford. But I think for me, Pope.
Fair enough. No worries. Right. Go defence. Reza, you can go first on defence, mate. Go on.
Yeah, so my 4 are Zinchenko, City. Yeah. That Roslev for Brentford.
Yeah.
He had a really good game. I went, I was struggling after this. I was going to go for Janssen as well for Brentford because he also had, do you know what, actually, I'm going to go Janssen for Brentford.
Yeah.
And then this one, you'll probably laugh or go, what the fuck? But he had a really good game up until the end. Coleman for Everton.
Okay.
He played really, really well. Considering what he has up in front of him, what he had to deal with, until Liverpool scored, he was really good. Coleman.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jamie. What's your back 4?
So, scarily, I must admit, I'm with Rez, to be fair, like with Coleman. Like, I must admit, as much as I hate them, seeing, like, actually him giving a shit, it's what you want from your team. Like, even if you're getting done, you want to see your players actually try. So, yeah, you can't not have Coleman in there. Verge for his first half leadership, to be fair, like leading the back line. It's what I'd love to see every week, to be fair. Diaz, and probably Zinchenko, actually. Sorry for being like 50-50 City, but yeah.
I was waiting for him to say Trent. I so was. I was 100%.
Nah. Yeah, I was waiting for that.
I was waiting for Trent.
Shit, mate.
I was waiting for it.
It wasn't his best game, to be fair.
I've got Zinchenko, Nathan Ake, Janssen, and Robertson.
Robbo, aye, solid shout.
That's mine.
You got 2 left backs.
Yeah.
Why not?
Why not?
Why not?
Why not?
No comment.
Mate, I'm surprised you haven't got Cancelo.
every
week, Cancelo's in every week.
He wasn't great. He wasn't great against Watford at all, to be honest.
Right, so Jamie, I'll let you go first. Midfield 3, what are you gone for?
De Bruyne, without a shadow of a doubt. De Bruyne, without a shadow of a doubt. Thiago, it's just an absolute joy to watch him. He's been wonderful, in all fairness. And controversial as it may be, for that goal he scored, Xhaka.
Okay, fair enough.
Just that goal was a peach, mate. So that's, for me.
Fair enough. Reza, mid for free.
I don't know how the fuck this motherfucker picks his teams.
Finger in the air and pray for the best, mate. You should fucking know it.
De Bruyne.
Yeah.
Standard. Ward-Prowse.
Yeah, same.
Because he dragged Southampton back into that.
Yeah.
And then slightly cheekily, because I know that he played up top, but I went Joe Linton because the week before...
You're moaning at me having a fucking left back as right back, and you're putting a striker as centre mid.
He's been playing centre mid, and then he played striker this fucking weekend.
My fault. Don't get me wrong, when Newcastle bought him, he was a striker.
Yeah, he did play up top this week, but he'd been playing in midfield quite a lot this season, so I put him centre mid.
I play Zinchenko right back on FIFA, so that's why I put him right back.
What's his chem like?
Zero, mate. Seven chem. That's all I need. Right, so strikers. Front three. I go Joe Linton, Jesus, and St. Max. Rez?
I've got Jesus, Saka, and that Vidra
for Burnley.
Just because of how big
that goal was. That's fair.
Massive.
That is
fair
enough,
mate.
Saka was immense. Jesus, you can't not score 4 goals and not get in a team of the week, to be fair. It's like just sacrilege, innit? And I think curveball, because from the highlights that I saw...
Here we go.
Hang on. For the highlights that I saw, Danny Welbeck, he had an absolutely solid game from what I saw. So,
first half, he was good.
No, he was good first half. Honestly, I was waiting for Pulisic. I genuinely was waiting. Right, fair enough. That does this week. Right, so let's move on, and we're gonna get to know our special guest a little bit better now. We've got 5 questions here for you, Jamie, mate.
Cool.
Me and Rez thought of them last night when we was having a little chat.
Oh dear.
So the first one is, we know who you support, but why do you support Liverpool?
There's 2 reasons for that. So I don't know if Rez said, but as a kid, I grew up in Manchester, and I got sick of the kids in my class all basically telling me to support City or support United. And I've always been the type of person to just basically say, fuck you, even at a young age. So I was like, I'll support Liverpool. And also Ian Rush at the time. So, yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Probably not the answer you're expecting, but that is the actual truth.
Oh, everyone has a reason why.
Just to give the listeners just some perspective, Campbell.
Yeah.
So you've touched on where you were born, where you grew up, right?
Where
did you move to?
So I spent the first 11 years of my life in Manchester, and then I moved down to Hove. That's where I ended up meeting you. And then after nearly 9 years there, I moved up to County Durham. And I've been here ever since.
But yet you support Liverpool.
Yep, I do. You're not wrong.
No comment.
I would be, mate, I would be a psychologist wet dream. They would have an absolute field day on me, wouldn't they?
To be fair, I don't really care when people say about you have to support who you're from or anything like that. I can't. I'm fucking Brighton.
Well, we can't. Yeah,
United. I can't really do that. But it doesn't really bother me. I think it's more dedication supporting a team like United when you live in Brighton. Because for us, for example, we have to leave at 6 in the morning to get to a game, and then we don't get home until like 3, 4 in the morning.
Yeah,
if we go home that day, or we have to stay there for the weekend.
Yeah. So it's like for me, it's like 3 hours roughly for me to get down to Anfield. So like the Norwich FA Cup game I was down for, didn't get in the house till like 2 in the morning. Long ass day, but you just do it, didn't you? Of
course you do. Do it for the team you love.
Yeah.
Right. Amen. So question number 2: if you didn't support Liverpool, who would you support?
Stockport County.
Stockport County.
Yeah.
Is that the local?
Yeah, basically. So like I was born like in South Manchester. So I grew up like just outside of Stockport. So yeah, it would be Stockport County.
Fair enough. We'll move on to the third question. What made you fall in love with football?
As cheesy as it sounds, it's this. it just brings people together. You know, you can be in a boozer, you can be like out and about and what have you, whether it's World Cup or Euros or like the leagues on and what have you. You can always have a bit of crack with someone. You know, you can always have a bit of banter and you can talk about it, and you can get just a different perspective off different people, and I think that's mint. I think it's absolutely mint. Like when I was at Wembley, there was me and my mate. We were there, and just having a bit of random crack with other Liverpool fans. Never met them before in my life. Never seen them again. But yeah, it's just the fact that it just brings people together, and it just brings so much joy to, and also sadness as well. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, but mostly it's more the euphoria that you get. It's class. Yeah, I love it.
Very nice to know. So this next one is favourite football player ever. This doesn't have to be a Liverpool player. This could be anyone.
Ronaldinho.
Ronaldinho.
I love Ronaldinho, and I also love the like OG Ronaldo. Oh,
OG Ronaldo.
Like, OG, the proper Ronaldo. But like, yeah, Ronaldinho. I can't not. He's just an absolute joy to watch. Absolute joy.
I don't think anyone would disagree with you, apart from maybe some kids nowadays that don't have a clue.
Yeah.
But anyone that knows football from, I'm assuming you're around roughly the same age as me and Rez, sort of thing.
Yeah, I'm like 2 years younger than Rez, to be fair.
Okay, so anyone in their sort of mid-20s to, I'd say, late 40s has got to love Ronaldinho.
Yeah.
And that type of Brazil type player.
Yeah.
All right, that's question number 4, and our last one. Your favourite football moment?
Oh.
I'm gonna see if it's the one that me and Rez said to each other last night when we were talking.
Are you gonna? It's either gonna be. You're probably expecting me to say us winning the league or like Istanbul 2005, aren't you?
Istanbul 2005 was the one that both of us said we thought it was.
Yeah.
Gonna be. But it's up to you. Whatever your favourite football moment is, it is, mate. Go ahead. You've got the floor.
It's a tough one, mate. It's an absolute tough one. So, on one hand, from physically being there, it was Stevie G's hat-trick in the derby, because I was actually at the Annie Road end watching it with a ridiculously shy restricted view seat. But it was amazing just to be in the ground.
Yeah.
But then also that first half against City at Wembley was unreal as well. But I think, it's probably winning the league, because I genuinely did not think I would see Liverpool win the league in my lifetime, in all seriousness. Okay. I really didn't see it happening. So I'm probably going to say Liverpool winning the Premier League.
At the end of the day, pal, there's no right or wrong answer. It's just what you feel.
There's been so many moments, though. There's so many moments out there. And that's the beauty of football. That is the beauty of it. But yeah, I think because of the fact that I just genuinely never expected us to do it. Like even when we were 20 points clear, it's still mathematically possible. We can throw it. It's Liverpool. We're going to throw it away.
20 points clear.
Yeah, 20 points clear in December. Yes, it's mathematically possible. We're not going to win the league. We still can't until it's confirmed. Until it is mathematically, physically impossible for us to not win the league. You know what I mean? I was literally like, yeah. So for me, it's winning the Prem.
If you hadn't have won the Prem that year, being 20 points clear, I don't think you ever would have won it.
That's 100%, man, 100%.
Right, that's nice getting to know you, Jamie.
Spot on, man.
Right, so the last bit of the show that we do, we go to the games that's coming up this week. We've got one Thursday, the rest are Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Each of us, like last week, for example, me and Rez have predicted 8 games right. Rez got, as he's already said, 1 game absolutely spot on in terms of Burnley winning 1-0. So what I'll do, I will say the game, you just give me what score you think it's going to be, and me and Rez will do exactly the same. The first team I say will always be the home team, second team away, and then just give me what you think.
Cool.
Right, so the first game, Thursday, United versus Chelsea.
2-1 Chelsea.
2-1 Chelsea. All right, Reza.
0 Chelsea.
What's that, mate? Sorry?
1-0 Chelsea.
1-0 Chelsea. Go 3-0 Chelsea. We ain't scoring. Right, so we move to the first games on the Saturday. Newcastle versus Liverpool.
I'm going to say 4-2 Liverpool.
Fair enough. Reza?
1-1.
1. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. 1-0 Newcastle.
Jesus. So one of us has a result right.
This is where the game will get fucking postponed or something now. Right. First 3 o'clock kickoff. Villa versus Norwich.
That's got 0-0 all over it.
Reza?
1-0 Villa.
1-0 Villa. I thought Villa were going to do this as well. I was going to say 2-0 Villa. Southampton versus Palace.
1-0.
1-0. Jamie?
I was going to say 2-2, to be fair.
2-2. Fair enough. 1-0 Southampton. I don't think a away team is going to score a goal at this rate. Watford versus Burnley.
1-0 Burnley.
Reza?
Yeah, I think they're going to nick a 1-0 as well.
Yeah, I think it may be a 1-0 across the board there. Wolves versus Brighton.
Depends what Wolves turns up, doesn't it?
Yeah. No, this is right. We've said this every single week, I think.
Flip a coin. It could be something stupid like 3-0 Wolves, or it could be like a 1-0 Brighton.
You're the man. You got to pick it.
Fuck it. 3-0 Wolves. Why not?
3-0 Wolves. I love the decided. Fuck it. 3-0 Wolves. Rez.
Oh, I'm going 2-1 Wolves.
I'm going to go 1-0. Right, Leeds versus City.
I'm going to be optimistic. I'm going to say 2-1 Leeds.
Where's that?
3-0 City.
More likely.
Done and dusted.
More than likely going to happen, but can't not be optimistic, man.
I'm actually going to go 1-0.
I'd take that as well. I would gladly take that right now.
I'm going to be the odd one out. Right, so we move on to the Sunday games. Everton, Chelsea.
7-0 Chelsea. All right, I'll be a bit more conservative. 5-0 Chelsea.
9-0.
No, 5-0 Chelsea.
Fair enough. I'll put you down as 5. Reza?
2-0 Chelsea.
I'm going to go 3-0.
Can you imagine a Lukaku hat-trick? Just saying.
He's got to get on the pitch first, doesn't he?
And
Yeah.
there is that, but
might be a hat-trick warming up or something.
Yeah.
Spurs beat Leicester.
0-0.
0-0. Bottle jobs at it again. Rez?
I think the Bottle Jobs will win this. I can't see them not beating this Leicester team. I'm going to go 2-0 Spurs.
I'm going to go 2-1 Spurs. Last one on the Sunday, West Ham, Arsenal.
I think that'll be quite tasty, to be fair. I'm going to say 3-1 Arsenal. I think it should be a good match, that.
Where's that?
What?
I think West Ham are going to do them. 2-1 West Ham.
2-1. I'm going to go 2-0 Arsenal. I don't think, with Europa League midweek, I don't think West Ham are going to do anything against them. They'll rest for the week after. And last one, Brentford versus Man United. Oh, sorry, United versus Brentford. My bad. Jamie?
2-1 United. Nah, 2-0 United. 2-0 United.
More confident than I am. Reza?
1-0. Why are you laughing?
Hang on. So the Liverpool fan is more confident in United than the United fan.
I said it to you last night, Rez. I don't think we're going to get another point at the end of the season.
Bold.
I'm going to go 2-1 Brentford.
Fucking hell.
I genuinely don't think we're going to win at the end of the season.
Fairs, man. Fairs.
We're relying on fucking McTominay and centre in midfield with Matic.
Yeah.
and then Maguire somehow sneaks in there. Fuck me, yeah. Less said about him, the better.
Oh, man.
Anyway, so that does it for this week's episode of Box2Box Podcast. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much, Jamie, for coming on. It's been lovely to have you.
Cheers again for having us. It's been
you.
good.
Brilliant. If you'd like to like and subscribe our socials, and please put a comment on our YouTube video. That's not just you, Jamie, that's to our listeners as well.
Oh, okay, fair play.
If anyone else would like to come on, me and Rez are trying to sort out some guests sort of every week now till the end of the season. We're trying to get some fans in. I put a feed out there to try and get some City fans involved. What I got back was a load of comments from various fans saying they can't fill their stadium, they're not going to come on a podcast. So I thought,
not wrong, though.
Fair enough. I don't think any of them were wrong when they said it. So if anyone would like to be on the podcast, I've messaged myself or Rez, and we're happy to get you on. And yeah, thank you very much for listening. We'll see you next time. See you later.
Here's all.